Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel and Easy Cooking blog tonight. It's getting to be about dinner time once again, and I'm looking to make something. So tonight I'm making another Northern Italian dish. It's a very simple dish. Rabbit stew with onions and peppers, or coniglio inhumido con pepperoni e cipolle. It's a standard North Italian dish. You can make it with chicken, you can make it with beef, but this week I decided to make it with rabbit. So as usual with YouTube, 15 minutes, let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay guys, the first order of business is I'm going to brown up the rabbit. So what I'm doing off camera that you can't see is I am dusting up the rabbit pieces. And in the pan they go. Okay, that's a hind quarter. 40% of a rabbit's weight is in those hind quarters. This is where the money cut is. Okay, now I'm just browning this up and shaking off the excess flour because I want to get some bits. Okay? I want to get some bits going. All right? So I'm going to brown up some of this rabbit, take it off, and then I'm going to saute up some vegetables, sweat them down, and we'll move on to the next step. See you in a little bit. Okay guys, as you can see, these hind quarters are browning up very nicely. I'm going to give it another minute or two on the side that it's on, and then I'm going to start browning up the front legs and the fillets and the rabbit bacon that I got off of the animal. Just to let you know, I marinated this rabbit for 48 hours in simple marinade to help soften it up a little bit because a rabbit's a low-fat food. So I put it in a simple marinade to loosen up the meat and tenderize it a little bit. It was in a bag with simple marinade for 48 hours. I'll have that recipe for the marinade and the entire process for this on my blog at richardblaineseasycooking.com. I'm going to continue browning, and then we're going to get into sweating down the vegetables. Okay guys, there it is. All the rabbit is nicely browned, and now I'm going to walk on over and deglaze the pan and start sweating down the vegetables. Okay, see all that nice brown goodness? I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit, so I'm getting a little smoke, and I'm slowly going to pour in some white wine to deglaze this pan. Oh yeah. There we go. That's what I want. All those brown bits off the bottom. Now I'm just going to put my peppers and onions in here in bulk. It looks like a lot, but believe me, it's going to sweat down. And I'm going to increase the flame. I'm going to add a little bit of salt, help draw the moisture out. A little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, build some flavor layer. And I'm going to saute these and sweat them down, then I'm going to add the rabbit right back into the pan. Okay guys, while I'm waiting for the peppers and the onions to sweat down a little bit, I'm just going to let you know what kind of sauce I'm going to be using. It's going to be a red sauce. I'm going to be using pomi tomatoes from Parma, Italy. These are 100% organic. They are the best tomato product I've found in the market. Better than any can, better than any carton. Imported all the way from Parma. Really delicious. If you haven't tried this, try this tomato product. You'll love it. All my Italian dishes get made with pomi. Okay guys, the vegetables have sweated down, the peppers and the onions, they've reduced significantly. And before I add my pomi sauce, I am going to add 2 cups of chicken stock. Okay. I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken stock because to that chicken stock I'm going to add my pomi strained tomatoes. Okay. Come on, fella. There you go. There you go. This is going to be a slow cooking stew, so I'm not worried about having the vegetables 100% broken down. They're going to break down over time. To this, I'm going to add my aromatics. Okay, garlic. Bay leaves. We'll take those out later. Little touch of oregano. Just a little touch. Because in this recipe I'm using marjoram and tarragon. Tarragon. All the aromatics go in. Okay? Get mixed up thoroughly. Just a little bit of sugar. Cut any acidity. Okay? Stir this in. I'm also going to add some parsley. little touch of salt. Okay. A little black pepper for the flavor layer. And I'm going to bring this up to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, then I'm going to add the rabbit right back into this mixture, so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, the vegetables have been brought back up to a boil, and I'm turning the heat down to a simmer, and I'm going to reintroduce my lightly browned rabbit parts. Here is a leg, the hind quarter. And I'm basically going to do all hind quarter. Let's get that in there. Get that in there. This is going to cook slow, a long time. Get that hind in there. Alright. Here's a front. A couple of more fronts. Just pack them in there, okay? Just pack them in there. Here's another front. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of stirring. This is a fillet. You take the rabbit apart the way I do, you'll get 4 of them. Okay. Here's another fillet. Okay. And here's the 4th one. That's going to go down right there. The rest of this is rabbit skirt or rabbit cutlet. I'll either put it in there or I'll save it for later and do something else with it. Now, what you can do also, because the sauce might reduce, is you could add just a little more sauce, like I'm doing here. Not adding a whole container, just a little more sauce to cover. Actually, it's going to take the whole container. And I'm going to simmer this puppy slowly for about 2 hours until the meat is just about going to fall off the bone with this rabbit. Okay? So we'll be back in 2 hours to plate it up. I'm going to be plating this stew on top of a delicious creamy polenta. I'll see you guys soon. Okay guys, the rabbit stew is done. It's been simmering for about 2 hours, and if you'll notice, I added another container of pommy tomato, which means that you will have to adjust your seasonings accordingly. I did my seasonings according to 1 container of pommy, and then found that by my own error, and it happens, that this 5.5 quart Dutch could handle 2 containers of pommy. So I had to readjust my herbs and spices. There's 2 rabbits in here. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you do 2 rabbits the way I did and double the recipe that I'm going to show on my blog, you will need to adjust your herbs, spices, and seasonings accordingly to your taste. So let's get on to some really nice creamy polenta. Okay guys, so here we are. We're going to start to make some nice creamy polenta. This here, and listen to me carefully, this here, and I hope my southern brothers, some of the ones that I've subbed to lately, is paying attention, because they do some good cooking and they should do some polenta. I'm talking about ammo head and half the fish. This here is 2 cups of chicken stock, not water. 2 cups of chicken stock and 2 cups of half and half. Nobody in their right mind makes polenta with water. So this here, 2 cups, half and half, 2 cups chicken stock. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to make some creamy polenta. Hang on tight. Okay guys, so my chicken stock and half mixture has come to a boil, and now I'm reducing to a simmer, and I'm going to stir in 1 cup polenta. Okay, it's going to be delicious. It's going to be delicious. Get this to break up on the sides. Okay, just break up on the sides. Going to add a little salt. I'm going to stir this together. Get those lumps to break up. I usually like doing this when it's cold, but I'm doing it while it's hot, and that's okay. Alright, I'll get these big chunks done. We'll be back in a few minutes, because then we're going to add some butter, we're going to add some cheese, and then we're going to plate the rabbit to this polenta. So hang on tight. Okay, the polenta is well on its way, and I'm going to add some butter. And to that butter, I'm going to add some salt, a little bit of black pepper, creamy things love black pepper. There we go. And I'm going to continue cooking it down. When it's all done, I'm going to add some cheese to it before we plate up. All the lumps that started out because I cooked it while it was hot are just about gone. And this is going to be really, really good. So I'll see you in a few minutes, guys. Okay, guys. So let's plate up some rabbit stew. Okay. First order of business. I got to get some of that polenta on the plate. Right smack dab in the middle. I love polenta. Oops, got a little on the side there. Free zone. I'll clean that off. Just too good to waste. There we go. Free zone. All right. So, we got some of the polenta. Okay. It's looking real good. Now, on top of that polenta, want to get a little pecorino romano. Fresh pecorino romano. There we go. From Trader Joe's. Good stuff. All right. Then, gonna grab some rabbit. All right, here we go. There's a hind quarter. And there's another hind quarter. It's just looking delicious. Just looking delicious. We'll get some of the sauce. There we go. Let's get around the plate. It's not the most elegant presentation I've ever done, but that's okay. That's okay. Get some of the peppers, an onion, a piece of the filet. There it is. Rabbit stew, Northern Italian style. I hope you guys like it. You can find the recipe on my blog at richardblaineseasycooking.com, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.